Against the backdrop of economic problems, international isolation and elite fatigue, a scenario is brewing in the Russian top brass that until recently seemed impossible. We are talking about a change of president. And in this context, the figure of dictator Vladimir Putin's youngest daughter, Katerina Tikhonova, unexpectedly comes into the spotlight. This was reported by the influential Russian Telegram channel VChK-OGPU, which is associated with the Russian Special Services. Recently, both of Putin's daughters showed up at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. However, the youngest of them, Ekaterina, attracted more interest. She is the one being promoted as the future head of the Russian Federation. The key role in this scenario, according to insiders, is played by the Kovalchuk brothers, influential oligarchs closely connected to Putin. They are allegedly actively promoting the plan according to which Tikhonova should take the post of the head of state. Mikhail Kovalchuk, with the full support of his brother Yuri, who has enormous influence on Putin, has recently been actively promoting his plan for a change of power in the Russian Federation. According to it, Katerina Tikhonova should become the new president of Russia. Interlocutors say that Kovalchuk is now actively convincing both Putin and Tikhonova that this plan is the only correct one. The VChK-OGPU reported. The channel's sources claim that discussions of this option are already underway in closed circles, and even specific dates are being named, 2026. It is by this time that Putin could allegedly raise the issue of transferring power, officially or through a controlled electoral process. They want to position her as an independent figure, without open party support, but with the image of a new face and scientific expert, capable of repackaging the Russian system for domestic and foreign consumption. Katerina Tikhonova, a physicist and artificial intelligence specialist by training, has until recently avoided the political scene. Her participation in the forum is interpreted as a signal that she is being groomed for a new role. Earlier, media reported that Mikhail Kovalchuk, Vladimir Putin's closest ally who is rumored to control most of Russia's state and private assets, is actively promoting Putin's youngest daughter, Katerina Tikhonova, as Putin's successor as president of the Russian Federation. Kovalchuk, who is a co-founder of the famous cooperative O0, which has included Putin's inner circle since the early 2000s, convinces him and Katerina that she should take part in the early presidential elections as an independent candidate in 2026. Naturally, Putin's daughter will win. Earlier, the media wrote that Putin's eldest daughter, candidate of medical sciences Maria Vorontsova, is also being prepared for power. She has recently begun to be promoted in the Russian media. The most interesting TV story happened in December 2024 when the dictator's eldest daughter allegedly organized a mobile hospital and evacuated about 10,000 wounded soldiers from the combat zone under fire. Even some Kremlin-loyal bloggers called this fairy tale a fake. Later, Maria also spoke publicly at many thematic medical forums and congresses. Previously, Putin avoided direct questions about his daughters as if they did not exist, but recently the frequency of their appearances in public has increased.
U.S. President Donald Trump has approved plans to attack Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether to strike the country. Trump told senior aides that he approved attack plans for Iran but has withheld a final order to see if Tehran would abandon its nuclear program, the Wall Street Journal reported on Wednesday, citing 3 people familiar with the deliberations. According to the article, the attack plan prepared by Trump and his national security team has already been approved by the Pentagon and Central Command. However, the president has not yet given the final order, and the issue of carrying out the operation will be evaluated depending on diplomatic outcomes and Iran's reaction. According to the sources, the main target of the attack is the underground nuclear enrichment facility located in the city of Fordow, Iran. U.S. intelligence has recorded that the facility has been activated in recent months and is close to enriching uranium to 90%. In addition, the Trump administration is working on a coordinated operational plan with Israel. Trump himself told that he would not say whether he had decided to order a U.S. strike on Iran, a move that Tehran warned again would be greeted with stiff retaliation. "I may do it, I may not do it," Trump said in an exchange with reporters at the White House amid growing speculation the U.S. could be on the verge of joining the Israeli offensive. "I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do." Trump added that it was not too late for Iran to give up its nuclear program as he continues to weigh direct U.S. involvement in Israel's military operations aimed at crushing Tehran's nuclear program. Trump said Iran had even suggested sending officials to the White House for talks on Tehran's nuclear program in a bid to end Israel's air assault, but added that it was very late. "They've suggested that they come to the White House. That's, courageous, but it's, not easy for them to do. I said it's very late to be talking. We may meet. There's a big difference between now and a week ago, right? Big difference," Trump added, reiterating that what he now wants is Iran's unconditional surrender. Speaking later, Trump said Iran was only a few weeks away from having a nuclear weapon before Israel began striking the Islamic Republic and that he now wants total victory, not a ceasefire. "I'm not looking to fight, but if it's a choice between fighting and having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do. Maybe we won't have to fight," Trump posited. "Maybe it will end very quickly." Iran's supreme leader on Wednesday rejected U.S. calls for surrender in the face of blistering Israeli strikes and warned that any military involvement by the Americans would cause irreparable damage to them, in recorded video aired by state TV. According to Associated Press, it was the second public appearance by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei since the strikes began, and came a day after U.S. President Donald Trump demanded unconditional surrender in a social media post and warned Khamenei that the U.S. knows where he is but has no plans to kill him, at least not for now. Trump initially distanced himself from Israel's surprise attack on Friday that triggered the conflict, but in recent days has hinted at greater American involvement, saying he wants something much bigger than a ceasefire. The U.S. has also sent more military aircraft and warships to the region. Khamenei dismissed the threatening and absurd statements by Trump. Telling the Iranian nation to surrender is not a wise thing to say. Wise people who know the region, the Iranian people and its history would never say that. Whom should we surrender to? Iran is not a nation to surrender, he said. The damage to America, if it gets militarily involved, would be an irreparable damage, no doubt, he added. Israel launched a major attack Friday with strikes in the Iranian capital of Tehran and elsewhere, killing senior military officials, nuclear scientists, and destroying critical infrastructure. Iran has retaliated with hundreds of drones and missiles. The days-long attacks between the two bitter enemies have opened a new chapter in their turbulent recent history. Many in the region fear a wider conflict as they watch waves of attacks across their skies every night.
ملت ایران در مقابل جنگ تحمیلی محکم می‌ایسته، همچنانی که تا حالا ایستاده. در مقابل صلح تحمیلی محکم می‌ایسته. ملت ایران در مقابل تحمیل تسلیم هیچ کس نمیشه. مجازاتی که ملت ایران و نیروهای مسلح ما برای این دشمن خبیث انجام دادن و دارن انجام میدن و برای آینده برنامه دارن مجازات سختی است و او رو دچار ضعف کرده. همینی هم که دوستان آمریکاییش وارد صحنه میشن و حرف میزنن نشانه ضعف و نشانه ناتوانی اوست. تهدید رو به کسی بکنن که از تهدید اونها میترسه. ملت ایران نشان داده که در مقابل تهدید کنندگان دچار ترس نمیشه. اینی که به ملت ایران بگن بیایید تسلیم بشید حرف عاقلانه ای نیست. افراد با خرد که میشناسن ایران رو، میشناسن ملت ایران رو، میشناسن تاریخ ایران رو، هرگز چنین حرفی رو بر زبان جاری نمیکنن. تسلیم چی بگن؟ ملت ایران تسلیم شدنی نیست. ورود آمریکا در این قضیه 100% به ضرر اوست. اونچه که او در این زمینه ضربه خواهد خورد به مراتب بیشتر است از اونچه که ایران ممکنه صدمه بخوره. صدمه آمریکا اگر ورود در این میدان بشه، ورود نظامی در این میدان بکنه، صدمه جبران ناپذیری خواهد بود بدون تردید. اگر دشمن احساس کنه که شما از او میترسید، دیگه شما رو، گریبان شما رو رها نخواهد کرد. همین رفتاری که تا امروز داشتید، این رفتار رو با قوت ادامه بدید. کسانی که امور خدماتی به عهدهشون هست، کسانی که با مردم سر و کار دارن، کسانی که امور تبلیغاتی و تبیینی بر عهدهشون هست، کار خودشون رو با قوت انجام بدن و ادامه بدن.